Happy hobby. I'm David Gunson. If you're a sports card collector and you're working with a limited budget, that's what we do on this channel. And if you're a sports card collector in general, we have a very special episode for you today. We're talking with my old buddy, Eric Mack, EMACK, he goes by. And he worked back with this guy 22 years ago. We started working together. So we're going to talk about his experience selling cards and getting back into the industry and getting back into collecting, period, and then how he got his start in selling. And he's got some pretty good tips for it. He's already given me a bunch of tips that have helped me sell cards as well. We're going to do a couple different episodes. Today, I want to really get into what his background is, some of the things he discovered. First, I guess I should go and introduce you. Eric, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. 22 years, is that long? Did
I
that
think because I
time
came
fly?
2003, I started CBS
Oh,
Sports or Sports
wow.
Line back then.
Wow. Man,
Right? Yeah,
years
yeah.
have gone by so fast.
Yeah,
It's like,
so when I first started there, EMAC, he goes by EMAC, was working in the newsroom on the news desk. And I was working with fantasy with Scott Engel and Michael Fabiano and Tristan Cockcroft and all those guys. And then little by little, some of those guys were leaving, and EMAC replaced Tristan, I think, or Engel.
yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Tristan
So
was
you,
so I tried to kneecap him for years, but apparently he went to ESPN and then
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't have to kneecap him. So my Jeff Galooly strategy wasn't necessary. I was in play. I was in play to Jeff Galooly him.
So we were the senior fantasy baseball writers back at CBS in the early 2000s, which if you played fantasy baseball back then, that's a lot different than it is now. These days, the games, there's daily games and there's a whole lot of stuff that's a lot different nowadays. But we both kind of, do you write fantasy anymore?
No, I gave it up. My last fantasy writing, I believe, was at Sporting News.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know you were at
Yeah.
Sporting News.
So I was at Sporting News after FanDuel and Bleacher Report.
I forgot we were at FanDuel together too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bleacher
And
Report.
SI, we were
Sports
both at
Illustrated was in there
SI.com. Yeah.
too.
But
I think,
anyways, we were
did you
also on
end
the
up
same
writing for SI?
softball. What?
You wrote for SI too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I may have replaced you. Like
Please
you went to
me. Yeah.
Bleacher Report, I think, from them. And then I
Yes.
think I came in behind you. So you and I played softball together. That was where we had most of our fun, enjoyment.
You called me Miguel Tejada. And I always thought I was more of an A-Rod.
I called you Miguel Tejada.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I got it. That was good. That was a good little play. So all right. So now that was fantasy. That's that both of us. That's back in the day. We both
Yeah, I don't
moved
love
on.
fantasy anymore. Now
I
I
don't
got
play
baseball cards.
this year. I did not play a league this year, which was a little strange. There's been a couple years throughout but this year I just never put a league together or jumped in on one. It's all about cards, man. It's a whole different, like if I've always said like fantasy baseball and collecting cards are similar because you're both collecting teams, you're collecting players for your team. In the card world, you're collecting them like they're going to be an investment for future sales or just for your future assets. What?
I call it prospecting.
Prospecting, yeah. And then in fantasy baseball, you're collecting it for that 1 year, or if it's a dynasty or whatever. I like this way better because I can have any cards. I can pick up any cards that I want, as opposed to I get one every 12 picks or something like that.
And that's I have a discussion to get into with you with breaking. And that's
yeah.
kind of my point about breaking. You call it gambling. I call it selective, strategic deployment of limited resources.
That
You
rolls
can't
off the
buy a
tongue.
box of cards, but you can buy one team. And really, if there's one team you like, it's a cheap way to get a piece of the action.
I'll say that we'll talk about breaking instead. We'll come back to that because you say I call it gambling. I have referred to it that other people do. Personally, like I think it's a danger for new collectors because it could feed that
Become the
same
addiction that I've created.
feed that same addictive gene. But we'll get into that. I like that. That's a good topic. First, let's go back all the way back to when you're a kid, because I remember I used to have baseball cards on our desk and on my
Yep.
desk at CBS, and we talked about cards a lot. I remember you mentioning you used to have them as a kid.
Just a sidebar, a good story for your viewers. We were sitting at CBS Sports, and things like this would happen. I'm sitting there, and I got like old Giants cards, old Mets cards, and one of my cards there is Lawrence Taylor, rookie, in a little hard case. And some man walks up and goes, "Hey, is that my rookie card?" And I'm like, "What in the heck? Oh my goodness, it's Lawrence Taylor." I get up, I shake his hands, something like that. When I was a kid, I would never dream something like that happening. But that was the world that we lived in at CBS Sports. You never knew
Yeah,
who was going to walk by and visit your desk. And it could even be the guy whose rookie card you have on your wall. That
yeah,
was
that was pretty
awesome.
crazy. I remember that. I remember that moment. He came by with Swanee, and I
And I
remember.
regret him not stopping him to sign the dang thing.
Oh yeah, right. That would have been awesome. You probably would have been. We would have ripped you. We would all would have busted you. But
Sign his card.
it was interesting. We because we knew you're a Mets and a Giants fan, and so all of us had kind of gathered up to talk with LT and listen to what he said. But we were all just all looking at you, and it was like one of those rare moments where your EMACK was kind of speechless. It was just it was crazy. It was pretty cool though. But yeah, he was real nice. He was pretty awesome. That was nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, regrettably some of the trouble he got into, but
Yeah. Well, he learned. Now he's better, right?
I hope.
So, what's your collecting background?
So I started the junk wax era, just buying baseball cards as a kid. I think the '87 Topps was the first one that I really pounded. That wood border,
Oh
kind
yeah,
of drew me in. From there, I kept collecting all the junk, and I would have my mom buy rack packs, and she would reward me if I did chores. I'd get baseball cards. She'd keep them in
nice.
a stash, and I knew exactly where they were. So I would go in a little bit and peek at. Ooh, I like this one. I'm gonna go do some chores. So I
Oh, that's
baseball
awesome.
cards. Little did I know I wasn't getting rich. I probably would have not done as many chores if
You
I
know
knew
what? It's
cards were going to be junk.
somebody like somebody that's not even in the industry, but same thing he collected when he was a kid. He shared a thought and it like blew my mind, but he was saying that our fathers or our the generation above us had cards when they were kids and they're all like in the 50s and 60s,
Right.
mantles and all that stuff, and then they went off to college or they went to the military or whatever, and their parents threw the or their mom threw the cards out. So when we came around and started collecting, our parents were like, do not throw those are going to be worth a lot, because by then they were just
Yep.
seeing what their cards would have been worth. So they were telling us, don't throw them out. And then that just made us, collecting fiends. And of course, Tops and everybody was just churning product out, making it
I got a funny story with
valueless.
my now late dad, where he was telling me that story. Oh, I had all these cards. My mom threw them out, and we got a box of cards or maybe a rack pack of cards or whatever it was, and we opened it all up. And I was looking for the Greg Jeffries Future Star card,
Yeah.
and he would just open the cards for me and then throw them all on the ground. And I was like scrambling to pick them all up because I'm like, oh my cards! He ruined my first box of cards to find the Greg Jeffries. And then we finally found one. He got to, oh, is this the one? And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
he's a treasure, that guy.
I was like 10. Well, it would have
So
been 88, right? So I was 12.
12 years
But I
old.
acted like I was 4.
Sounds like your dad did a little bit too, though.
Yeah, jerk. Uh,
All right.
but
So then you,
when I was collecting and young, I actually would go to flea markets. I would buy cards and look at cards. Like the flea markets in my area were basically card shows. There would be like dealer
wow.
upon dealer upon dealer. And eventually I would set up a stand at the card show as a young kid. And well, young, like 12 to 14 years old. And I would try to sell cards, but I would do it with a Beckett magazine. So every time someone would look at one of my cards, I would flip to the back, and the people would get so mad. They would just, I ain't wasting my time with this. I'm out of here. I'm not gonna pay that price for this card. There's 1,000 of these cards. I'm like, no, this is Greg Jeffries. This is worth $3. See,
That's good. So
it
then
says it
what
right here in this book.
at what point did you abandon collecting cards, or at least
So right
stop
after
buying
that,
cards?
I wound up selling nothing and wasting a day, trying to turn my cards around. So I'm like, this stinks. I ended up going to college and, had left the cards back at home. And then after college, I went right to South Florida to work for CBS Sports. And I never thought about cards until that one day in fantasy baseball, when we were writing fantasy baseball, I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a photo of a player that's ranked, and I'm going to make a baseball card of him as the picture for this thing. And you were
Oh,
like,
nice.
that's, I remember you complimenting it and say, wow, that's really cool. I love
I
those.
don't remember that. That's cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a cool idea.
Yeah.
You
So,
remember who it was?
it might have been, who was that second baseman that was after Biggio? Oh,
Mark
Chris Burke.
Grudzielanek. Mark
Chris Burke.
Grudzielanek. Remember him?
No, it was Chris Burke, actually.
Chris Burke.
Yeah. So I thought
Astros.
Chris Burke, yes, I thought Chris Burke was going to be the next Craig Biggio.
Oh
So
wow.
I made like a prospect or a rookie card of Chris Burke
He
and
was
said,
no. What
this is
was
the
the
next
guy
big thing.
I loved? Kevin the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that home run? Some guy said he was going to be like a 40
Kevin
home run.
Mensch.
Kevin Mensch.
So we got into a little debate. I go, man, your projections on Kevin Mensch are ridiculous. Because the way we did projections were, we would take the 3-year average of the player, and Mensch had like a short-term call-up or what have you,
Yeah.
where he hit a lot of homers and a limited number of bats, probably as a pinch hitter. And it projected out, it was like, wow, he's going to hit 35 bombs in his first full season. So you had Kevin Mensch, and I did the same thing with David Wright. And I
Oh
remember
wow.
you saying to me, well, Wright is your Mensch. I go, I'll take it. So as I embarrassed
You
myself
won.
with Chris Burke, I did all right with David.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Nice. All right. So then you abandoned it, and then eventually you came back to it in the past couple of years. So what got you back into collecting cards?
I want to say it was David Gonos.
Oh, I want you to say that too. That worked.
David Gonos's podcast. I was
Oh
always
wow.
like on the periphery. I would, follow the card collecting. I wouldn't really get into it much, but I am an avid. Regrettably, this is going to be a geeky thing of all geekiness. I am an APA player, so APBA. So it's like Stratomatic, where the cards don't have pictures; they just have numbers. So they replicate players' statistics in 36 rolls of the dice. And I have all these cards, and as you're playing the game, you shuffle the cards around a lot. I'm like, man, I have these top loaders somewhere in my basement. I'm going to pull out these top loaders and put these cards in top loaders so I can have cards where they don't get all bent out of
Right.
shape. So I would actually buy the sets of the APA cards and then get like, man, why am I buying these cards with no pictures on them? So then I like started following you and card collecting, and I found out, well, eBay, you can get any card. So like these random guys that I had on my APA team, I want to get this guy's card. So the back of the APA card could be his picture. So I started
Oh,
buying
that's cool.
cards of my APA team. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is so easy and fun. I want to pull out my cards. So I pulled up my cards that I had my top loaders with, and I started following David Gonos. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get into this. And I have a son who's now 7. At the time he was probably 5, and he liked Pokemon cards. So we would buy cards together. We went through some baseball cards, and baseball cards don't really move them like Pokemon cards do. He was like, ooh, rookie. Because he could then tell, he couldn't read at the time, but he could tell, oh,
The
rookie card.
logo.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing that got him excited. But now he can read, so he helps me sort. He's my little sorter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And
Nice.
I even have him doing the Ganos trick that I learned, the numbers, the 0 through 9 and the 9 through 0.
Cool. Oh, that's
Sorting
awesome.
strategy. So he's my, he meticulously does all the numbers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some
So
cheap labor.
yes, that's how I
Good
that's
stuff.
how I help
That's your
my bottom
profit.
line. But
Speak.
to be fair, his sorting time gets traded in for like Prime Day is this week. He got to buy a toy off of Prime Day.
Oh, nice. That's pretty
So
cool.
what toy was it? Because he's in the Minecraft and shooting games. It was a Nerf grenade. He said, "Hey Charlotte, can you be my test subject when it comes in?" He wants to throw the Nerf grenade at it.
His little sister.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so then once you got back into it, what were some of the common mistakes, either that you made or that you see
Oh,
that people are making
right.
nowadays?
So the first thing I did is I made the mistake of becoming an addict of buying singles. So I was like, oh, I'm going to buy every good Stars rookie card and every good Prospects rookie card singles. And I was in the line at Disney World, spending hundreds upon hundreds of dollars at Disney World, and spending hundreds and hundreds upon dollars buying these cards. My kids were like, "Get your face out of your phone." That's okay. I just got Vladdy Guerrero's rookie card. They're like, "We don't care about that. We just want to ride the
We don't
big
want Vladdy, we want Daddy. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So
Okay, so that's interesting because that's something we talk about is buying
yes.
singles is better than buying wax. But I know you do buy a lot of boxes. So how do you have to buy enough boxes to get the great chase cards that pay for all the boxes? Like how do you what's your formula?
So so of my myriad mistakes is trying to do too much, trying to buy too many
Yeah.
products. You have to home in on a product. And I wanted to get when I got back into it, I wanted to get everything for the past 5 years. I wanted to try to build every set, and it got to be too much, and the the money started going down. I think my best strategy was to go in on breaks and find inefficiency in the marketplace. So
Oh yeah.
uh, I found that I like Junior Caminero, and I've liked Junior Caminero because David Gonos wanted to trade one of my Junior Caminero cards. I'm like, who is this guy? He's young and he looks like he could be awesome. So I found that nobody likes buying the Rays and breaks. Even if Junior Caminero is a rookie card in it, it's just undervalued uh, opportunity. So I
The
just
Wander
looked up.
effect.
Yeah, well, yeah, that could be. I got a beautiful Wander rookie card this weekend in a box, and I'm like, man, this card would have been worth so much.
uh, okay, so that makes yeah, so that I understand that makes sense. Now let's go back to breaking because we talked about at the beginning. So my thing about breaking is why I don't think consider it gambling is I buy into breaks sometimes, and I'm always trying to get the raise. And sometimes I'll do randoms if it's if it's a cheap break, and I just was interested in getting some of the cards because I do like not just the raise. I like to get a bunch of cards. I like to get rookie cards of other teams. So the difference with gambling is when you gamble, if you lose, you lose. You have nothing. If you're buying into breaks, you're buying a portion of a box. You
Yeah,
are getting something.
yeah,
Now, the odds of you getting, you still have to hope you get something good out of that something, but it is different in my opinion. It is different than just straight up gambling. But I do think that little because I remember when I first got back into it, I was doing a lot of breaks and I was loving it. It was awesome. There was a ton of great cards. None of them were coming to me. There was just a bunch of good cards.
yeah. Just a few things for your listeners that you want to do. You want to become an expert of the checklist. So study the checklist before you buy into breaks because you want to I would like when I first got into breaks, I'm like, oh man, the 22 Royals or the 2023, they must have Ellie in that, and I would buy the Reds and I'm like, oh, this was a year before Ellie's a rookie. I just
Yeah.
wasted my money. So you gotta be an expert in the checklist. So
Yeah.
print the checklists out. Like I like Beckett's checklists. Also, Cardsmith breaks online.
So to that point, Beckett, Ryan Cracknell used to be he was one of the columnists at Beckett, and he moved to I don't know where at PSA, and he moved to another company. So he's no longer he was the guy that was doing the checklists. So Beckett, I don't think is gonna either they're getting someone else to do it, but supposedly that's going to be a space. So the cardsmiths you're talking about, that's a good one. What was it again?
Uh, Break.
Cardsmithbreaks.com.
Cardsmiths Breaks
Yeah.
has a good checklist
Yeah.
site.
Yeah. That's
I
pivotal.
generally just Google 2025 top series 2 checklist, and the two that come up are usually, because the ones I use, Beckett and Carsmith breaks. But to get into breaks, before you start dropping big dollars, understand the checklist, front and back, and understand that you're really buying the base cards. Don't buy the break because the chase cards, because
Right.
you're just throwing money away, and that's where you might call it gambling. You're just gambling your money away. Understand that I'm going to buy this team in this break, and when I get these cards, I'm going to build team sets, and I'm going to flip those team sets to help pay for those breaks.
Wow. So we're going to get into that at some point. It's probably going to be for another podcast, but I want to talk about we'll talk about selling on eBay. But now the breaks, you mentioned going after inefficiencies. So that means you're always going into the PYT breaks as opposed to the random breaks, which are cheaper, but it's random. But you'll spend the extra
Yeah,
money to get the team you want in a PYT break, right?
yeah. I wanna buy certainty, and it's not a lot of certainty. It's some certainty. I found it's fun to get in the random breaks. Oh, you can score a big team and get a big team on the cheap, but generally, I roll dice with the Epic game. My luck in the Epic game stinks. I play craps at casinos. I'm horrible at it. I lose thousands, but I just not the luckiest guy in the world. So I like to minimize my risk a little. So I like to pick your teams, and I like to find the inefficiency. So I'll buy breaks on eBay and sometimes Fanatics. I have certain Fanatics breakers that I like. Others, there's these two young girls on Fanatics called Press Pass Breaks in Tampa. I'm
Oh,
going to tell
cool.
you a quick funny story that helped me turn around some cash. I made friends with the breakers and just chat with them, and they're the one woman who runs it, Candace. She is from Syracuse, so I
Oh,
struck up
nice.
that chord. And the other girl, they're from Tampa, so I mentioned South Florida and talked about Latinas and dating former Latinas and such. So that conversation smoothed things over. And so as I'm in the breaks, I'm buying just the Mets and what have you. I go, if anybody doesn't want their base cards, I'll take them. So they from time to time will just send me, like Top Series 1. They sent me a box that was the size of a large luggage.
Wow.
It was about 10,000 cards.
Oh my
Six
goodness.
cases, 6 cases of base cards. And what did I do? I just turned those into team sets and flipped them. And
So
I
the
did the
shipping
same.
on that alone had to have
Well,
been crazy.
I paid for shipping through my break, and they just, because
That's
they were
awesome.
friendly, and you get more bees with honey than
Honey.
sugar. It's got to be your bowl. It's got to be your bowl. You get more bees with honey than
Flies. You
what was
catch more
that?
flies. Bees already have the honey. They're not coming to get your honey. All right. So
Uh,
so speaking of childishness, going back to 10-year-old EMAC, what would you
yes.
tell 10-year-old EMAC as far as collecting cards goes?
Don't do it. No. Um, I would say store your cards, because I had so many cards when I was a kid that I didn't go to the level that people talk about where they put them in their bike spokes and listen to the funny noise.
Yeah.
But I would just take them out. I would take them out. I would sort them. I would
Yeah.
resort them. I would just, they'd fray, and just store them. You can, if you store them in the penny sleeves and the hard pack, you can play with them. Don't bother with those pages. Those doggone pages. I ruined so many cards taking them
Yeah.
out of those pages, and my son wanted to get that. I'm like, you will not get those pages.
So here's the thing. I agree. The binders are the worst, but they have top loader binders.
Yeah,
So
Yep,
that's the trick, is you use those and your cards are safe and your kid can flip through it. But okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's good. So now with your fantasy baseball background, what's helped you the most in regards to collecting or prospecting or flipping
that's it.
cards?
It's the prospecting is other than my Chris Burke story, uh, I was actually pretty good at calling long-term projections. I'm gonna toot my own horn, but I would jump on a guy like Chase Utley and go, man, that's my dude. In fact, I am so
That's a good one.
proud of Chase Utley. Even as a Mets fan, and he broke Ruben to hit his leg, I still didn't hold it against him, and I named my son after him. My
Oh,
son's
no way. I
name is
didn't know
Chase.
that.
My
Oh,
son's name
that's
is
pretty
Chase.
cool.
All because I go, man, this guy Chase Utley, his numbers in the minors are okay, but I think he's gonna blow up. His OPS, his powers, his doubles are gonna turn into homers, and I think a streaky young hitter is gonna become a great older player because the hot streaks get longer and the short streaks get shorter. And he was just that guy. He was like, as a kid, it was Jeff Kent for me. I was like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Jeff Kent in little Mets spurts would look like a world beater. And then they ended up trading him, and I'm like, man, I don't know. That guy, his numbers for a season, what was like 14 homers? But in
Yeah,
those
early, right?
stretches, in like a week, he would hit 5 bombs. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, he is on fire. No one can stop him. And so that's where my uh, streaky young hitter becomes a great older hitter because the hot streaks get longer and the short streaks get shorter.
Big
So
fan of you're a big fan of slugging second baseman.
yeah, well, yeah, I guess
So Chase
that
Utley,
was the fantasy thing.
he's the reason you named your son. So now that's why Utley EMACK, that's why he has that name. That's pretty cool.
Chase, Chase Mack. Now I was also a football coach. In fact, I won a state championship. I got to coach uh, the state championship at Gillette, which is the New England Patriots
Oh,
Stadium,
cool.
um, with some Patriots on the sideline watching our game as it was going on.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I don't remember why I told that. Oh,
I don't know.
I also named my son Chase because I was a linebacker in high school, and I said, Chase, you're going to be chasing ball carriers for the rest of your life. And
Nice.
I tried to tell that story when I was teaching him how to tackle and leverage in flag football. And I go, Chase, if you don't work outside in and target the outside hip, target the near hip, I'm going to be very disappointed. And I named you Chase to do this.
Oh,
Please
that's cool.
show the team how it's done. And then he went, whoop. The guy got around the outside. I'm like, oh no.
He's
And then
like,
I
I want to
started
chase
crying endlessly.
Charizard.
I let you down. I let my father
Ah.
down. I was like, oh, you know what? Let's just focus on Pokemon cards.
Okay, so you obviously you collect cards past couple of years now. Do you have your own personal collection, or do you mostly are you just basically flipping cards, buying and flipping and trying to just make money?
So I love cards and I love the thrill of getting a cool card and having a cool card. The problem is I found this over the years. The cards that I love the most stay in a box and I never look at them. Like I see you have those cool things on your wall and I thought about doing that. Um, but I don't want the sunshine or the light to hit my cards. So I would prefer to leave them in a box.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that fade your cards?
UV protected.
Yeah.
So the slab and the plexiglass UV protected. They're $65.
Yeah,
Not
I looked
expensive.
into it. I looked
Yeah.
into it, but I don't think I would fall in love with it like that. So I found sitting in a box or helping me get the thrill of get more cards. That's what I ended up doing. So I'm just going to keep flipping cards, and I do have a box of cards that I haven't posted. I have boxes upon boxes of cards. In fact, I hired my college age stepson at $15 an hour for a summer job. I
Wow.
spent about $2,000 to help me postcards, and I'm still not there. I've got so many cards now. I could open a card shop. In fact, that's one of my boyhood dreams to just open a card shop. My
That's
wife
cool.
hates that dream, by the way. Um,
She loves
but
money, hates that dream.
yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
So
So what's your favorite cards then if you can remember that's in your collection?
Well, I
Or at
got
least
one
ones that
card that
stand out?
is special, but it's like now a series of cards. So I took my son to Dodger Stadium for the first time last year.
Oh
And
wow,
at the game, in the
it's a good year
second,
to have taken them. That's awesome.
what's that?
It's a good year to have taken them to a Dodger game.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
the story gets sordid and disappointing for me
Oh
in the
no,
end.
as they
But
always do.
as they
As they
always do.
always do.
So I'm a Mets fan. Okay. You got to tell that story. But that might have to do with the pee towel. I don't want to tell that story.
We'll move
Uh,
on.
so I took him to Dodger Stadium, and in the third inning, when he was getting a Dodger dog of all things, this young man named Shohei Ohtani hit a home run, and it ended up being the record breaker for most home runs for a Japanese player. So Topps now did a card, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is perfect to celebrate having been to Dodger Stadium. He got to run
Yeah.
the bases that day, by the way.
What was that?
He got to run the bases that day.
Oh, cool.
So it happened to be Kids Run the Bases Day. And
Wow.
it happened to be Andy Pajez's major league debut, too, by the way.
Man.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. But
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani set the record for Japanese homers, and Topps now did a card. And then Series 2 came out with the card. So I got him. I got the Topps Now card, and I got the Series 2 card, and I got him slabbed. So we have now that
That's
card
cool.
is a gem mint saved forever. So that card's probably only worth as a 10, maybe $35.
Still, yeah, but I'm with you. I
But
get you.
it's just a moment in
That's a cool
time.
memory.
It's that MasterCard commercial,
Yeah.
priceless.
There you
Priceless.
go.
So
Yeah.
that's my favorite card. But I have a personal affinity for the '89 Upper Deck Griffey, which I got a few of them, and I flipped and I sold them, and I'll get a few more, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Um, that's a personal card. I now I buy into breaks for the Giants because for some reason, even though Malik Neighbors is a good rookie who set some awesome numbers as a rookie receiver with a dog doo doo quarterback, now has a stable of quarterbacks that might not be dog doo doo. I'm
Yeah.
knocking on that's glass, but I'm gonna knock on it anyway. Please, Giants, don't let me down. Um, Neighbors is good, and the Giants are bad, and their breaks go for a decent number. So I buy and I get like loads and loads of Malik Neighbors cards and
Nice.
autos, and so that I do a lot of that. I buy Mets breaks because outside of their veterans, their rookies are not that sought
Yeah.
after. Some people are chasing Series 2 with Acuna, but he's kind of been disappointing. They don't even play him that much. So their breaks are not that expensive. So
Well,
I
that's
get a lot
good.
of Mets cards. I get a lot of Giants cards, even though and they're big markets. So I flip their team
Oh,
set. I
yeah,
buy
right.
team sets and I flip their team sets sell nice.
That's
Uh,
pretty cool.
so
So what are some things that people are buying that you think is just plain dumb?
I know everybody loves those low number serial numbers, but it's so dumb. It's the
It's
same
so
damn card,
dumb.
just puts a dumb number on it. It's dumb. It's just stupid. I'll get it and I'll get geeked up about it. And I got like a Connor Griffin Bowman auto, Mojo auto to 25, and
Oh wow.
I'll jack up the price on eBay and sell it because it's to 25. But
Yeah.
those darn serial number cards, I sold in. I will say this, and this is the number one strategy I think of all the things that I have and selling cards on a budget is, how they say location, location, location.
Uh-huh.
It's timing is everything because when Topps Chrome Platinum last year came out, they had was it Jackie Robinson? It might have been Jackie Robinson, but they had the in the Topps Chrome Platinum they had the uh, refractors of the city variation,
Connect. Yeah, City Connect.
city variation of the platinum Topps Chrome Platinum. So they had like the silver pack,
Okay.
and it came with a pack of 4 city variations. So I got a low numbered Jackie Robinson, and I ended up putting it on eBay in an auction. We'll go over auctions versus buy it now. I put it on eBay for an auction thinking, well, if I get 25 bucks for it, that'll be all right. That dong thing went for 250 bucks.
Wow.
That card ain't worth that. And people actually, I'm like, they'll never pay this. They won the auction for 250. It got driven up to 250. They'll never pay that. And they
It was
did.
numbered to what?
It might have been to 25.
Oh yeah.
But it was also the city variation refractor. So it
Yeah.
did have
Right,
some
right, right.
juice, but who cares about I got Jackie Robinson cards all over the place coming out of my ears. They make a Jackie Robinson card in just about everything.
I love the Jackie Robinson cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
Are you the one that paid
It's
250 for
history.
that dong thing?
Wouldn't pay 250. No.
But
If we go back to
that's
his
why I said
base.
timing is everything. It was right when Chrome Platinum came out. And
Yeah.
I bought a case break. And I think it was the Dodgers. I don't know why the Dodgers were affordable, but I'm kind of a bargain hunter there. And I got the Dodgers, and I just happened to be a case where they had this city
Wow.
variation pack, and got the to 25, and I sold that sucker so fast. Well,
That's
7 days.
so what things should people be buying and holding on to?
Uh, I generally, because I say time is everything, I'll flip anything. I'll even Malik Neighbors auto low numbered rare. I just saw I got into a break for the Giants of Don Russ optic. Um, I got the downtown, and
Oh,
I
nice.
posted for like $500. I noticed the 130 point. The most recent sales were like $400. I ended up
Wow.
taking 450. I love Malik Neighbors, but I like cash and
You
I
love
like cards.
$450.
Yeah, so you know how many breaks $450? I'm gonna buy a lot of breaks.
Okay,
So
so before we get too far along,
yeah,
I see your background. It looks
yeah.
like you're in some sort of arcade of some sort. So
I'm
what is that
Dr.
background? And tell
Headroom.
us,
What is
that's your
that?
eBay
Max
store,
Headroom?
right? Yeah, Max Headroom. Yeah, there you go. So this is your eBay store, right?
Yes. So this is a little thing I made. Get out of the way. EMACK get
Emacs
carded.
get
So I got a
carded.
little story about that. So a local bar in this town I live in Winthrop, Mass, was selling, and I had Dr. Gene Perkins from Fort Lauderdale. He's a chiropractor. If you ever need back work in Fort Lauderdale, look him up. He was in town, and I go, man, I want to buy this bar. And we were just watching an eBay break on our television, just streaming to the television. I want to buy a bar, and while we're talking sports at the sports bar, we're going to be breaking cards. And people will be like, man, I'll buy that. I'll buy the Mets for $5. And you buy into this break. So I'm like, and I'm going to name this bar Get Carded.
I like that. That's pretty
So
good.
you get carded at a bar. And so I go, I'm going to name my eBay store Emacs Get Carded.
I like that a lot.
You get
And a
carded.
tip, if you ever do open that bar, use junk wax commons for your coasters for all your
Oh, nice. Use it for toilet paper too.
so
I got a lot of junk wax, man. My boxes and boxes. In fact, I was going through my boxes of junk wax, and I found a partially open box of Bo Jackson rookie. What year was that? 88
88
tops.
tops, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I want to open
Football
this,
rookie, yeah.
but I'm watching Gonos' channel. It'd be way more interesting instead of opening it if he opens it and I watch him open it. That would be awesome. So I sent you the
I
cards,
remember that was awesome.
and I think we didn't get a bow, or you got one of the bow
We
in
never
action.
got a bow, and then Scott Hedrick, one of our viewers, has
And
bows to spare. He's got bows to spare, and he sent us two of them.
you got them graded. I got like a 9 or yeah,
Yeah, I
8
think
or
yeah,
9.
you got a 9. So I
Yeah.
made the deal that you said whatever we get, you get to get I'll
High
send
rate.
it in to get graded, and then mine was an 8.5, which I was excited about because he was the 85 Heisman winner. So I thought
Oh,
that
nice,
was cool. Yeah.
nice.
Well, Emac, we're gonna have you on again because we want to talk more
Wait, this
about
is over? I don't want it to end.
leave. It said leaving them coming back. Leave you coming back for more. So we'll do this again because I want to really dig into your selling cards on eBay tips, because I only recently have I started to sell cards on eBay, and your tips have helped me. Like
Nice.
you've given a lot of good advice, but specifically I want to get into your team packs advice
Yeah.
and your listing tips, because you have some good listing tips. But thank you so much for coming on, man. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me. I'm a big fan of the show. First
Oh,
time
well,
this
thank you
time.
very much. I thought you were going to go
I
on and
always
on.
try to win those like those giveaways. I know I'm never gonna win, but I like and share.
I would absolutely. If you got it, if you got pulled, you'd win. All right. Well, to everyone else, make sure you come back again. We'll do another interview in the coming weeks for sure. But whatever you do, make sure you have a happy hobby.